Let's move on to the second email today. And the second email today comes to us from Justin, who writes, "Hey, John, big fan from Boston." Well, thanks so much, Justin. Go Pats. "I was wondering, since the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse trailer showed Peter Parker doing the famous upside-down kiss from the first Spider-Man movie and stopping the train the same way he did in Spider-Man 2, is this the same Peter Parker that Tobey Maguire played, but is now an animated older man?" All right, thanks a lot for the question, Justin. I'm going to tell you what. When I first read your question, I remember thinking to myself, I'm just being honest here. Here we go again. Another one of the viewers thinking everything's got to be connected. Oh, everything's got to be connected. This is actually connected to that. And it's actually connected to that, blah, blah, blah. But you know what? I started to think about it. And I was like, yeah, okay, it's the same upside down kiss. But you know what? I started to think about it. And you're not crazy. You're not crazy. Think about it like this. First of all, let's go to the Tobey Maguire Spiderverse, okay? We have, of course, in the new animated thing, in the top left there, we've got the live action Spider-Man. Of course, the only thing difference is there's no rain, whatever, in the animated one, but that's a complete shot-for-shot recreation of that, right? But it's not just that. You also mentioned, like, the train scene. In the top there, we've got the actual scene from Spider-Man 2 with Tobey Maguire trying to stop the train. Down at the bottom, we've got the animated Into the Spider-Verse trailer showing Peter stopping the train in essentially the exact same manner. But it even goes beyond that. We got the animated one on the top now. You know, we've got Spider-Man and I was going to say Gwen Stacy. I've got such Gwen Stacy on the brain now. Sitting down, having dinner, and the car comes flying through the window. But that's a complete recreation of another Spider-Man 2 scene where they're sitting down having dinner, and the car comes flying through. The one difference, of course, is in the animated, he's in the Spider-Man costume, turns and punches the car. In the live-action one, he dives across and saves her life by throwing her to the floor. But still, essentially the same thing. I'm going to tell you what, Justin. Put the tinfoil hat on my head. I'm thinking there's a possibility that Sony may be suggesting that this is the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. I'm not saying it is definitively. I'm not saying that at all. But guess what? There's even another connection, visual connection there. Remember the one scene from the Spider-Man movies where he saves the car, he shoots the web down, and he's got the car dangling? That shot is in the Spider-Verse trailer as well. So I don't think we're at a point where we can say, oh yes, well obviously it's the same, that's the same Spider-Man. The Jake Johnson voiced Spider-Man in the animated film is the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. There, we know. No, I'm not saying that. What I am saying is, Justin, I don't think you're crazy. They do seem to be giving us enough visual cues and enough visual hints that you cannot instantly dismiss the notion that this Spider-Man is our Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. You can't dismiss it. Look, I'm not saying it's true. I'm just saying you can't instantly dismiss it. When you've got this, and you've got this, and you've got this, you can't just with a straight face instantly dismiss the theory. Now, if I had to put $5 on it, I'm going to bet that it's not. They're not suggesting it's the same Spider-Man. If I had to put $5 on it. But I wouldn't put $20 on that. I certainly wouldn't put $100 on that because I think there's enough validity there that you have to at least consider it. So I'll say good eye, Justin, for catching that. And we're only now a couple of months away from this movie comes out. Let's see if that theory actually holds true. All right, let's move on to the next email.